Hey there, everybody. Well, now that I'm turning away from the sun, I'll take off my sunglasses so that I am more approachable. You can see my eyes. There's been some news in the last couple of days, and I know I said I wouldn't be doing these commuting blogs or vlogs unless I had something to say, and I got something to say, so let's talk about it. Elon is making more promises about the upcoming Roadster, which has been upcoming for about 4 years now, possibly longer. Certainly longer by the time you ever see one. And he's bragging about all kinds of moving the goalposts as far as specs of like accelerating under a second to 60 miles an hour, and it being a collaboration with SpaceX and having forced air, cold air rockets or something. I don't know, whatever nonsense Elon is coming up with is always that kind of stuff. So what are my thoughts on it? Well, first I will say, as a matter of disclosure, that I did get enough referrals back in the old days that I did not get a free Roadster. Yeah, I'm just not that big a internet personality, and I'm not doing this for the likes and the shares and subscribes, although please do those things if you would like to. But I've always presented my experience with Tesla and knowledge of Tesla as being as objective and rational as possible, and so that's why you get the good and the bad, and how to fix stuff and how not to break stuff and all that in between. So I do have enough referral cred, I guess, that they're telling me on the website when I check it that I'll get a discounted price on the Roadster. I forget what the amount of the discount is. I think it's like 15% or something like that. It's not a free Roadster. So I don't really have a real vested interest in this either way, other than, I guess, as a stockholder and as somebody who likes cars and as somebody who talks about Tesla on their drive home. So what do I think about this Roadster stuff? I think it's another billionaire toy. Here's the thing. Tesla was all about accelerating the transformation of our transport to sustainability. That was supposedly the goal behind every step of the rung on the ladder that got us to the Model 3 and the Model Y now being the best-selling car on the planet. And presumably that's the methodology behind decisions that lead to a Cybertruck being made out of bent metal and whatever Model 2 ends up being. The Roadster doesn't fit in that plan in any rational sense. And the only thing I can see it is a diversion of resources that could otherwise be put to good use, or at least to better use. You don't need a halo car when your goal is to democratize electric vehicle usage. You want more cars on the road? You don't need a halo car. What you need is a compelling car at a compelling price and with compelling specs. The Roadster hits like what, 1 out of the 3? So, all right, so, you know, Elon set his foot in it like years ago and said that they're going to make a Roadster and all of that. What they should be doing, at least in my opinion, is fine. Go ahead and make a Roadster, but give us something more like a Miata. More like, you know, the Miata is great in that it's a smaller car, it's lightweight. You've already got a great platform with the Model 3. Chop that down a bit. Make a target top version of it, I guess, if you want to keep the roof thing going, and dial up the motors a bit, and I don't know, make it rear-wheel drive only if you want to really make it kind of an electric Miata. But the key thing is then sell it at a price that really gets it into the hands of a lot of people. You know, I see all kinds of folks on social media who are like all excited about this Roadster and all these wonderful specs. All right, aside from a few of them that are going to get it for free, most of these guys, and they're mostly guys, they're not even going to be able to afford a one-day Turo rental of the Tesla Roadster when it comes out. I mean, this is going to be a very much a theoretical thing in their lives. They're just never going to drive one, and they're certainly not going to own one. Now, there's some exceptions in there, and they know who they are, but for the most part, this is not a car that is really going to be real to most people, as opposed to maybe finding the way of building more variations on the Model 3 on the Model 3 lines and mixing them in with the product. That would actually be brilliant to go back to that kind of skateboard idea. So I'm just really disappointed that the Roadster is becoming like a thing, and it's becoming a thing because of Elon spouting off specs and superlatives that most of the time he doesn't actually deliver on. He's very much in that overpromise, underdeliver mindset, and no one seems to be able to course correct this guy. And instead of actually accelerating, sustainable transportation, he's hyping a crazy toy for the rich that more likely than not is just going to get a bunch of them hurt and killed, possibly, because I don't think the average driver can handle that kind of acceleration, that kind of speed. And more importantly, I don't know that they really know what's involved in scrubbing that speed and making sure that you don't end up around a tree or another car that might have other people in it. So I'm kind of alarmed by pretty much everything that he said this week about the Roadster. I just think it's completely irrelevant. It's just a big, dumb, stupid waste of resources and time and effort and money and all those things. It just is. There's just no way around that. All right, so the other topic, briefly, I'll touch on is the Cybertruck, since that's kind of coming out. I still don't get it. I really don't get it. And it's just a short answer. I will say locally, I've poked around, and the Ford Lightnings are available by the dozens at my local Ford dealer, and they're in the $50,000, under $60,000 delivered right now. So they're basically half the price of a Cybertruck. The superchargers are opening up to them. I know the software on them is not as good and all the other things, but is a Cybertruck as a truck twice as good as a F-150? I just don't think it is. I don't think it is. So I'm still kind of befuddled by that whole thing. Excuse me while I merge. One last thought on the Roadster, and that'll be the end of my ranting on it for the day. So, speaking of the referral credits, and there's supposed to be people out there getting free Roadsters, does anybody really think Tesla's going to give away free Roadsters? Elon has, if nothing else, especially since he bought Twitter, shown that he's a little bit petty and a little bit vindictive, and a lot of those folks said some pretty mean things about him in the intervening 4 years. And again, they know who they are. And I just think Tesla's going to come up with some way of getting out of giving away free cars. They've never done that before. It's really bad for margins. And I just don't think they need that. I just don't think they need to do that. They just don't have to do it. So I think they're going to find a way out of it. I'm happy to be proven wrong, and I'm happy to be offered my 15% discount on this ridiculous thing, but I don't think it's happening. All right, thanks for watching. Hey, like, share, and subscribe. Maybe I can get more referrals, and I don't know, I can get a free Roadster 3.0 someday. Whatever. Thanks. Bye.